Let's go now over to the agency network agency. How does an agency function in relationship to a network? And that's the other topic that I've been asked to speak on here. So with that foundation of Western agencies becoming relevant in this new reality of from anywhere to everywhere, adapting their structures, their organizational structures, so that they can function in this new reality. Let's think about this other topic here. So the identity in a network society, we have this bounded set. Again, this existed in the secular world and the Christian world. We used to have bounded set with theological denominations, just, clearly defining who we are, and we're not going to do anything with them over there. And now we moved into this centered set where you maintain your identity, your theological convictions, but you look to see who else shares the focus and when is it that we can connect and partner in ministry with others from all over the world and within other organizations. So we're going to talk about this, redefining your we. And they talk about this in the secular world. An organization, who is your organizational we? When you say we do this, is your we primarily just your organization, or is that you're working as if you're working just in isolation? And you see this on mission agency websites when they tell a story that we did this. And it's missionaries from their organization doing things with the objective of them, their objective with the finances that they have, the reporting, the accountability and everything. And it's just that organization. And invariably, there's a donate now button after that story. Can both you and the others that you partner with say, we did whatever? We worked on building this radio station. We worked on this street children ministry. We worked with the refugees coming into Italy, and be describing the same activities as other partners that you were working with. Do you intentionally collaborate in ministry while you keep your identity? Do you intentionally collaborate because you can accomplish things much better with others than just by yourself? Are your partnerships primarily focused on strengthening your bounded set or on your centered set? Do you allow those you partner with to maintain their identity? Do you build trust in working together? That's the critical question here. How do you, when you say we, are you referring to your organization as just yourself? Or is it those that you and are partnering with? An agency's identity, I just want to quickly run over this because invariably people ask questions about this. You don't forfeit your network, your agency or ministry or church identity by functioning well in a centered set. That's not what we're saying. You still have to have selection of members. You have your primary members within your entity. You don't forfeit that identity in functioning now in a network, in a centered set world. You function as part of Christ's highly interconnected global church. That's what you're doing. You reduce the size of your logo and increase the size of Christ and what he is leading and how he is building his church and your partnership with others in the global church. One director said to me, if those we partner in ministry were with all left us, if they all went home, he said, our agency would have to fold, because almost everything we do is in collaboration with others. We no longer function just ourselves, doing our own issues, our own objectives, our ministries, etc., just by ourselves. The objective in a network society is for an organization or a network to clearly define their identity as functioning as part of a centered set. That's the objective. How do you relate? How are you interconnected? How do you associate with the different ones? I want to touch very briefly on a couple issues here. And I have much more longer videos on these, and I do this, meet with mission agency leaders. I'm happy to do that. and flesh this out a much more. But every organization needs a network engagement strategy. Every network needs that as well. This is the reason and you have to build this on the premise of understanding, why do you engage with a network? So this might be a network of ministries in the Sahel region of Africa. It could be a network dealing with media. It could be a network of working with rescued, trafficked victims out of Central Asia. But why do you engage with a network? There's reasons for engaging with a network are twofold. First of all, find solid practitioner-sourced information about the context and what God is doing. When a network provides a space where you can learn and hear what the actual reality on the ground is and how God is working, that is incredibly attractive. Not all networks provide that, but in a network engagement strategy, you want to find the networks that do. The second reason for engaging with a network is to discover potential partners. These are people, ministries, individuals to learn from or to contribute to, and to partner with to accomplish what neither you nor the other party could do alone. So do you as an organization go to a network, participate in a network to find good practitioner-sourced information and potential partners, people that you can learn from or others that you can contribute to, help in their ministries, and to find these partners that you can actually carry out ministries with, not because they joined your bounded set, but rather you're working in this focused set reality. In a network engagement strategy, there's 4 degrees of engagement. I use a southern home from the southern part of the US, okay? And you've probably seen them in movies if you're not from here, but there's this porch around the front, okay? So I use this house as an example, and the house represents a network. There's 4 degrees of engagement. There's the front porch. You can go up and sit on the front porch, sit in one of those white rocking chairs, and they're really white rocking chairs on these porches. The window is open. You can hear the conversation coming from the living room, but it doesn't take you much commitment. And that's just looking at the website, subscribing to any communication this network has, but you're looking for good information and potential connections. If it's really good, if you think, this is interesting, they've got good content here and potential partners, you get up, go through the front door and sit down in the living room, and that's the event. It could be a virtual event, an actual event, but that's there. And it only lasts for like 2 or 3 days at the very most. But if this network is something that is really significant, and it's going to help you function in this centered set world, and you want to understand the context there, you're going to get up and go to the dining room. And sitting around the dining room table, you're going to learn from others who are really studying what God is doing in this context, what is happening. It could be what God is doing as far as building a church in a very closed country, or how God is working with refugees, Iranian refugees coming through Germany, whatever. But to get in there and see what God is doing and to learn. And that kitchen actually is where leadership happens in a network. They're the ones that prepare the food that's served at the dining room table, at the living room, and in the front porch. That's where leadership happens. It works behind the scenes. These are not upfront people. These are the ones that facilitate an environment where this can happen, where you can learn good information and get connected well. Now, the other point to remember is there's 4 different personas engaging. There are individuals. You go to network meetings around the world, and there's just professional people, business people from Singapore, from Cape Town, from London, IT individuals. So they get involved in networks because they're trying to get interconnected as well. Local churches can get connected into networks, need to get connected into networks to find good information and good connections. Ministries and organizations. So just because an organization associates with a network doesn't mean that the individuals or the ministries within the organization are tied in there at all. Now, the one who provides the leadership for this within an organization, an agency, is the individual called the Chief Collaboration Officer, the CCO. This is the newest C-level role in the secular world, and we're seeing it now in the evangelical world with organizations, networks as well. The CCO is the top leadership role, is a top leadership role with no line authority, but rather is tasked with two primary tasks, okay? So they have no line authority over, training or member care or, finances or anything, but their function in this role is creating a culture of collaboration within the organization, policies and procedures, adapting them, making sure they're changed so that the organization is partnership friendly, and promoting the value of collaboration within the organization. And right now that takes a lot of work. And this has to be done by somebody other than the CEO or the existing leadership. And intentionally seeking out potential partners. This is the CCO's second responsibility, is to intentionally seek this, looking horizontally. Who are the ones that they can work with, that they might be able to partner with in the future? They do that through networks, and they do that through ministry connections. So that's the key person within a leadership role that brings about this actual collaboration. All right, so this has been really quick, a presentation for the Global Collaboration Processing Group, and happy to answer any questions that you might have. And there's my email if you have questions, or if you're with an agency and you want to follow up with me, feel free to connect with me there too. Thank you.